Let's go to Calvin Peach, MHA. Calvin, MHA for Bellevue, you're on the air.
Hello, Bill. How you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Vi. I'm doing good. I'm on the way back now from the announcement in Buren this morning at the healthcare center up in Buren.
What is
back over the highway now, heading back to home.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic announcement again this morning up there. That's the fifth announcement that's made by Eastern Health now in Buren since I've been elected in 2007. And it certainly shows, the commitment that our government is making, towards healthcare, in the province.
Yeah, we're spending your money and mine on what they should be spending it on, right?
That's right. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in that hospital in Buren, and they got good staff there. The care there. I mean, I've had some personal experiences with some of my family that's been there in that hospital, and they say that the care has been really good to them. So there's certainly a lot of things that happen. There was one announcement this morning that was made, and that was a clinic that we've been lobbying for some time now. Minister Jackman, myself, and Darren Minister King, for a clinic north of Marystown, and they're saying now that clinic announced this morning will be ready to go to tenders in the next 4 weeks. So that's good news as well,
Yeah, well, it's all good news, although the good news may be coming to an end. It's easy to be a government, Calvin, when you have money coming out of your ears from high oil prices. A little bit harder when you can't meet the demands of the people because you don't have the same level of revenue coming into the coffers.
Well, that's usually what happens, all the time, Bill. But at this point, we are in a position where we have made some commitments, and we're coming through on our commitments, and that's a good thing. We can't tell what's going to happen another year down the road. I listened to Minister Marshall on there the other day, and our finance minister, talking about the revenue somewhere down the road. People were saying, we probably won't have any revenues, but like you said, you can't tell the future. No one can tell the future at this point in time as to what's going to happen with the oil. In 6 months' time, we know now that we're facing a deficit, but we don't know how big a deficit. And as the Premier said the other day, it may be a big deficit. And things may change around. With oil, you really can't tell,
Yeah. Calvin, as a member, MHA, how long have you been in now, by the way, in the House of Assembly?
That's October.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years. Do you sense from the time you went in, do you sense a sort of that the government here is starting to wear out its welcome a little bit, or is that just the normal fluctuations between elections?
I think that happens during every election, Bill. We have a new premier who's doing a fantastic job as far as I'm concerned, and being a member, I see it firsthand, in the different meetings and that, but the public perception, I guess, because of what's been happening in Ottawa, has really drawn us down. There's a lot of things that's happening in Ottawa that wouldn't normally happen with a progressive conservative party, but I had my doubts about Stephen Harper some time ago when I was mayor in Normanskold, and he was running for the Reform Party, and I've always said that giving him a leadership of a majority government, and you'll see changes in our social programs, and these changes that's been happening in our social programs have certainly drawn us down in the province. But I think that'll we'll bounce back from that.
Well, that's ironical, isn't it? Because the PC party, although it has conservative in its name, traditionally here in Newfoundland, Labrador, and in Ottawa, when it used to exist in the nation as a national party, was a central or left of centre party in many respects, very socially progressive. I mean, the progressive was the major operative part of the name, and now we have a real conservative party in power, and a lot of people like yourself, kind of red Tories, you might say, people who are, interested in the well-being of ordinary people. It's really frustrating and able to get on your nerves, isn't it?
Well, Bill, it's a challenge, in district, especially a district like mine, where you have a community of 29 as the smallest community in the district, and the largest town at 1125. So it's a really a rural district, and the social programs are very important to the people in my district.
Sure.
And just a little announcement of $1,000, you know, to an organization means a lot to the people in my district. And when you see things like EI, you know, being talked about being cut or things happening to EI, you know, that's pretty scary, you know, to the people in the district. That I know that there's lots of people living in the St. John's area and the large centres, you know, that say, oh, you know, there should never be, you know, programs and there shouldn't be this and that. But if you come out to rural Newfoundland, where the reality is too, and you look at what the JCPs have put in the province in rural Newfoundland, and you look at what the EI top-ups have done, and the CEP programs that comes out, you know, in the fall of the year to get somebody. Bill, is a very busy district, especially this time of year now with all the events on the go, and I'll call you again some other time and give you some updates on some of the events that's happening throughout the district. I know we don't have the time to get into that.
We don't have the time now, but you're welcome to do so any time. Now, I sidetracked you today, Mr. Peach, by dealing with some other more general issues and problems. But next time you call, if I'm around, and certainly any other host who's here will be delighted to hear what's going on in Bellevue District.
Well, you know, what we talked about is just as important, you know, Bill.
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk some about the district and about what's happening in the district, but what we talked about is still important, and I certainly appreciate the call. And
absolutely.
And I'll again some other time.
Thanks a lot, Calvin Peach. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Calvin Peach is the MHA for Bellevue District, and it's good to get the point of view of, a frank kind of assessment of what's happening in the province and in his district.